Reddit forums, YouTube videos, and websites, all dedicated to one question. What is the most realistic racing simulator? Is it R-Factor 2, Assetto Corsa, iRacing, ACC? I'm here to give you a definite answer. Who gives a shit? The question of the most realistic racing simulator is a question that has been a plague to the sim racing community. Everywhere the question is asked, toxicity follows. Many people have such strong opinions on the matter that they seem to think that anyone who doesn't believe in the same order of the most realistic simulators as them must be their intellectual inferior, and anything must be done to prove them wrong. This mentality has started so many arguments within the sim racing community. It almost seems as if you cannot comment on anything having to do with your opinion about a sim's tire models, braking feel, or anything having to do with its physics without being attacked by some random guy that for some reason feels he has to aggressively argue with you. Now, I'm not saying that you can't disagree with others, and can even argue against them if you feel the need to. However, this argument should be kept respectful. Far too many of them get way out of hand, making the debaters target each other rather than their viewpoints. However, this isn't the only way the question of the most realistic racing simulator has plagued sim racing. When I was a beginner in sim racing, I remember looking up what the most realistic racing simulators were, and chances are you likely did too. Almost all of us went through that phase where we were on a constant search and debate with ourselves about which sim most accurately represented the real world. A large number of people are eternally stuck in this phase. Many sim racers have for some reason made it an obsession to play only the few or sometimes one simulator that they find the most realistic. Everything else goes out the door. User friendliness, AI, graphics, everything doesn't matter unless that they believe that the simulator is most realistic. Now, one may reasonably ask, if someone is sim racing with the sole purpose of racing in the most realistic simulator out there, who are you to stop them? Well, although that is true, I believe that they are not qualified to determine what the most realistic simulator is. In fact, nobody is, not even the professionals. Not even the professional real-life racers, you may ask? Yes, because realism is different for everybody. Not everybody has the same expectations for what the greatest simulator should be. For example, many pro drivers tend to avoid Assetto Corsa Competizione because of how many describe it a poor model of how the brakes feel in a car. However, other pros, even some who acknowledge this, are willing to overlook the issue due to the many other upsides of the sim. See, it's all about perspective. No one simulator can be crowned as the most realistic simulator for everybody, because everybody has different values from a simulator. Even Autumn Listed 2 could be crowned as the second most realistic simulator if all people cared about was weather simulation. Now, it is perfectly fine if you're someone who races in real life and believes a certain sim is the best at helping you perform better in real life and feels the closest to reality to you. However, this doesn't make it the king of simulators. I'd argue that until we have a simulator that undeniably represents real life in such a perfect way, everything from the chassis flex to the suspension to the braking is released, nobody should be arguing about which simulator is the most realistic. Of course, we have the obvious separations from arcade and simulation games, but when it comes to those top few simulators, why can't we all just stop the toxicity and obsession and just choose whatever sim we have the most fun in? Thanks for listening to my take on this situation. If you found this content relatable or entertaining, I would appreciate it if you liked and or subscribed, and it would ensure that you would not miss out on any more content like this. I'll see you on the track.